Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Sato trained Daniel instead of Mr. Miyagi during the events of The Karate Kid? Part 2. If you guys haven't seen the previous video, I would recommend you go watch it before finishing this one. So in this timeline, Daniel would be a karate legend. He would be known across the valley and across the US, and Sato Do Karate would be one of the biggest dojos in Western America. So instead of owning LaRusso Auto, Daniel would own a chain of Sato Do Karate dojos, and at first, Daniel would still teach defense, but over the years, Sato Do would focus more and more on offense and less on defense. Daniel would still live in the valley, and he would train his students in the ways of Sato Do, and he would train them in a very similar way Sato trained him. And Kyler and his friends would be students of Daniel. Johnny would still resent Daniel because of Daniel's fame with karate, and Miguel would still move to the valley, and he would still be picked on by Kyler and his friends, and Johnny would still fight them off. But since Kyler and his friends knew Sato Do, they would stand a better chance against Johnny. And in this timeline, Kyler and his friends would end up beating Johnny. Miguel would be impressed by Johnny's skill, and he would ask Johnny to teach him karate. Johnny would know that it was dangerous for Miguel to not know karate, so he would agree to teach Miguel. Johnny would still open up Cobra Kai in this timeline. Johnny would start training Miguel in the ways of Cobra Kai. Johnny would say that Sato Do focuses on defense with a little offense, and that it originated from Okinawa, and he would say that the best defense was more offense, so he would tell Miguel that he was going to teach him real American karate. Daniel would recognize the Cobra Kai dojo, and he would stop by, and Daniel and Johnny would have an interaction. Daniel would say that he was happy because he wanted more competition for his dojos. Daniel would have a monopoly of karate in the valley, and he would tell Johnny, he would say that if it wasn't for him, he never would have met Sato and never learned Sato Do. Johnny would ask Daniel to tell his students to leave Miguel alone, and Daniel would say how it was funny that the tables have turned. So Daniel would propose that Miguel fight his students at the All Valley, and Johnny and Miguel would accept. So Johnny would continue training Miguel for the All Valley. Miguel would still get Eli and Dimitri to join Cobra Kai. Robbie would hear that Johnny had opened up Cobra Kai, and he would be interested, and Robbie would join Cobra Kai in this timeline. In the night of the All Valley, Cobra Kai would enter, and they would start winning their matches. Daniel would be one of the main sponsors of the All Valley, and Miguel would make it all the way to the finals, and he would fight Kyler, and they would go in a sudden death, but Kyler would defeat Miguel in this timeline. But news would spread that Cobra Kai made it to the finals and got in a sudden death. No other dojo had ever made it that far. Kreese would still come back to Cobra Kai, and he would tell Johnny that they needed to get the revenge on Sato Do. So Kreese would come back to Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai would be the cheaper alternative. So many students would join Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai and Sato Do would have their rivalry. Daniel would want to learn more secrets of Sato Do, so he would decide to go to Okinawa, and he would see Chosen once again. Chosen would be happy to see Daniel. Daniel would explain that over the years of winning tournaments, he got rich and famous, and with the money, he opened up his own karate dojo, and Daniel would tell him how successful Sato Do had been, but Chosen would be upset. He would say that he made Miyagi-Do all about Sato, and that he took away one of the most important elements of Miyagi-Do, that it was for defense only, and not to be used for winning tournaments. But Daniel would say that it was business, so Daniel and Chosen would have a disagreement. Chosen would realize that Daniel was blinded by riches and fame, and that he couldn't see that he was training a generation of bullies with a messed up philosophy of Miyagi-Do. So Chosen would go to the US, and he would open up Miyagi-Do, and it would be very similar to the philosophies Mr. Miyagi taught him. So both Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do would want to take down Sato Do. And that is where I'm going to end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Sato trained Daniel during the events of the Karate Kid. Let me know in the comments below. All members have access to emojis that can be used in comments and live streams. This isn't mandatory. This is only something extra if you want to support the channel even more. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.